So I've just come down to the tiny house, ready for another hard week of working on the roof. We want to keep the momentum going from last week and try and get the tiles on the roof. But there is one slight complication, let's call it, that might slow us down a bit. And that's the fact that we need to pick all of the olives off our near 100 olive trees that we have here. So this year we have been trying to put this job off for as long as possible, purely for the fact of we want to push on with the roof. However, as I'm sure many of you are aware, we've had so much rain these last, really month. And as a result, the olives are so fat, so juicy, there are so many of them. In lots of cases, they're now just dropping off the trees. So we really can't wait any longer because first of all, they'll just end up going to waste. And second of all, it's really not good having them all sitting on the floor, rotting away. Aha, you're back.
Yeah, I'm channeling my inner waitress because I'm slopping this coffee everywhere, but I think we need it today. Just back from the local agricultural shop because we needed to get some more bags for the olives to go into. And when I said to the lady how many I needed, I requested 30. She was like, 30? Are you sure? I was like, yeah, we have a lot of olives.
So the plan for today, I think, is going to be to divide and conquer for the most part because there's a lot to do. Victoria is getting set up to do the olive picking this morning. Maybe I'll get around to helping her this afternoon. Last week, we managed to get all of the insulation down, all of the breathable membrane down, so now the building is fairly water resistant. But we've run out of time on the back to get all of the counterbattens down. So we nipped out yesterday for about an hour, managed to get down all the counterbattens. They've been fixed top and bottom. I now need to whiz around and fix about 150 more of these big boys to make sure that these counterbattens are really strong and these tiles aren't going to go anywhere. I'm still so happy with this jig. It's made life so much easier. Don't know what I would have done without it, to be honest.
Finished picking the second tree of the day and I cannot believe quite how many olives have come off of them. Last year we had, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 sacks from this entire olive grove. This year I've already completed my first Ricky with his drill. I've already completed the first sack and I'm just going to move on and continue filling up the second sack, and that is only from 2 trees. Granted, they are slightly bigger than some of the others in here, but still, that's a lot of olives. It's definitely not just me and Ricky making progress today. The birds and the bees are everywhere. The ground is basically buzzing underneath my feet where I'm working. To be honest, you could easily be fooled into thinking it was spring today. Is a little bit rudimentary, but it never fails to amaze me how effective it is. You do have to be a little bit rough with the trees, but trust me, olives are very, very resilient. These we actually chopped back, I'm not quite sure of the month, but sometime earlier this year, and the amount of foliage that they've now got on is absolutely ridiculous. So however much I might be knocking the odd twig off here and there, I know that it's not going to cause the tree any lasting damage. Hello up there.
Howdy.
How's it going? Can you actually believe how hot it is today?
I know. Yeah, it's all going well. This is the last one. And to be honest, it's great timing because the jig's almost had it. Good morning. It's a beautiful one today. However, it's that time of year where it seems like everybody is out either trimming or chainsawing, so it's not the normal peace and quiet that we have here. The birdsong is being interrupted by lots of two-stroke engines. We didn't film at all yesterday. We both spent the day frantically olive picking, trying to get as much done as possible. We're so limited on time that we've ended up coming to an arrangement with our neighbour by which we're going to whiz through, pick them all, we're going to give them to him. He's then going to take them up to the lagar, which is the place where they press all the olives to make the oil, and he's going to deal with all that side of things. Then we're going to have some oil and he's going to have some oil, so it's a good deal. Here she is, olive picking champion 2023.
I'm just thinking about how handy it'd be if I was this tall, rather than tottering around on my little stool. We've had so many olives this year, I can't even exaggerate, which is good because you've got to pick each tree either way, but I think we've done about 20 bags so far, so 20 bags times by about 60 kilos, 70 kilos per bag. Do the maths.
Yeah.
A lot.
Is that just off this one big tree?
Yeah, I've not even fully finished it. There's a couple of bits I can't reach. I need the bigger ladder. They're so juicy, so big on this tree. Let's try one?
No.
I'm not going to get you a second time.
Yeah, those of you that have been watching since the early days of this channel, you'll remember last year when we were picking the olives, when Victoria tricked me into eating a rancid tasting fresh olive off the tree. Real olive farmers, they test the olives off the tree and they can tell at what point it's ready. Now, they're never ripe for eating straight from the tree because they're super bitter. You actually tasted one last year, didn't you, straight off the tree?
Yeah, I can still taste it in my mouth now.
But I never had one, so we thought it would be fun to stop and have a little taste test.
There you go. Enjoy.
I feel like I'm really going to regret this. Why is mine so green and yours is purple?
No, well, there's a mixture.
Okay.
They're not all the same colour. Go on.
Yummy. That's actually fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Try it.
That literally tastes like an olive out the jar.
Go on,
I'm
then.
not even joking. Have you stitched me up? Did you
No,
actually bring one
no.
from the house?
Go on.
Did you bring that one from the house? I can't believe you did that. Oh, that is so horrible. I bit into that second one with so much confidence. Oh, that is wild. So yeah, there is no way I am falling for that again. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my mouth. Don't snigger in the background. Okay, so I've just finished getting the first tile batten up at the eaves level. The next step is going to be to do the one at the top by the ridge, and then measuring between them I can work out how many rows of tiles I need and the gauge I need to put between them. So whilst I was working on the eaves, it just jogged my memory that maybe I should answer a few questions that came up from the last video which just came out. So in that video I was cutting off the kind of small rafter overhangs that we had on the front and the back. And loads of people were asking, why are you doing that? You should leave them on. We are gonna have an overhang. However, it's just not having the rafters overhang. The tile will overhang. The tile will be supported by a brick kind of overhang underneath it, and the rafter itself will actually end within the wall. We were advised to do it for fire risk, but I think another reason that people do it is because in some houses they have concrete rafters, and obviously you're not going to have that go off the end of the building. It's not particularly nice looking. So they all have these detailed eaves. We're doing it with brick that will then be rendered. Other traditional methods are they have a number of different curved tiles going under with mortar pushed in between, which has a really nice look, but I think that's a bit too advanced for us. So now that I've got the top tile batten on by the ridge, and I've also got the one at the bottom by the eaves, I need to measure between the two and calculate the gauge, so how far I want between each of the tile battens in between those top two. Sorry if it's a bit dark, but I've got to stand in the shade. It is hot today and I can't keep squinting any longer. So I'm going to explain this as simple terms as possible because I am not an expert. So the tiles that we're using, they interlock, okay, from one side to the other. Then how they fit from the top to the bottom. So you can see here this space at the top, you can see that. So these particular tiles have a fair amount of kind of flexibility to fit. You could fit up here, or you could slide the one above it down to there and it will still fit. So what we do to calculate how many rows we're gonna need and the spacing between them is, let's imagine, this is my tile batten up at the top by the ridge. This is my one at the bottom by the eaves. So I've measured from the top of the bottom one to the top of this top one. I then take that number and I divide it by the maximum amount given by the tile manufacturer of flexibility that these have. So these particular tiles have a gauge of 35 to 39, meaning you can have a space between the tile battens of 35 up to 39 centimeters and they will still fit and overlap within this space and not leak. So I take the number that I measured between the tile battens, divide it by the maximum, which is 39. It's going to give you a funny decimal number. I think in our case it was 6.47 or something. So you round it up. So in our case, round it up to 7. I then take that original measurement of measuring between the two top and bottom tile battens, divide it by 7, and that tells me the actual gauge that we need to put between the tile battens. I'm really not sure if this is going to make sense to you. Hopefully it does. Okay, I'm halfway up the front side of doing these tile battens. I actually stopped for a while to help Victoria because we've got these humongous olive trees on the property, about 5, 6 of them. And really we should have cut them last year when we were trimming up all the other olive trees, but it was such a big task and we were again up against it time-wise, so we left them. But as a result now, some of the olives are so high on the big branches going straight up that we can't even reach it a full stretch on a ladder. I've cut all of them out of the tree and just left like huge piles on the ground on top of the nets. She's now got the painstaking task and is being a trooper and going around and just picking them all off these branches, shifting all the branches somewhere, and we'll have to get rid of them another time. So once Victoria's gone through all those cut branches and got all the olives off, we've only got one more big tree left after that, and that will be all of the olive picking done for the year. So I think I'm going to make the decision to press on and get the rest of this front side done. The back side's going to have to wait for another day. I'm then going to jump on and help Victoria because it just makes sense to get that job done today, not have to worry about it tomorrow. Also means we can just get all the olives tonight over to our neighbours rather than a few more dribs and drabs tomorrow.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah, just finished. Taking a 2-minute breather, enjoying the sunshine. It just dawned on me a second ago, you've not been up here, have you, since when we put the ridge beam up?
Yeah, months ago. Come on down, or come on up.
Come on up. Right, pass me the camera. Yoink. Okay, you keep going up, foot on the edge of the building. You okay? You don't have to.
It's a confident silence.
You don't have to come up, it's fine.
I want to come up. We built this. I've got to master the roof.
Okay. Okay, and then just step over and use it like a ladder. Just obviously stay low if you want to be really safe.
I did it.
Yeah, well done.
How do I get back down?
You look very relaxed.
Oh dear. Where's the fireman's pole? See a lot from up here.
This is like watching gladiators.
A very, very tame, slow version. Oh, wowza. Anything for a break from olive picking.
Well, I'm glad you came up here, but we do need to get back to olive picking.
Thanks. You know how to show a girl a good time. Right, back down we go. Timber!
Got it?
Yeah. Oh gosh, half the tree. Do you reckon there are many more to come off of this one?
Do you know what? It's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, there's only about maybe 4 or 5 big ones to break off this one. Obviously you can see here what a mess it is in the middle. There's so much dead stuff, and basically what you want to do is cut out the middle of it to allow the sun to get through to like the fruit at the back and in the middle. We're not going to cut all these out now because we haven't got time. We're just trying to get to the olives, and then later on in the season, in the winter, we'll come and cut these properly. But for now, they're just going to look a wee bit of a mess.
It's like you're caught in some sort of spider's web.
I'll tell you what, with all the graft you've put in on these trees over the last few days, I'm going to have to start calling you Olive.
All right, Popeye. I was honestly seeing olives when I was trying to go to sleep last night. It's a bit all-consuming, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We're really up against it now. The light is fading fast to get this final olive tree done. God, I'm so sunburnt on my nose. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's come across on the video or not how challenging this week has been, because to be honest, it's been frantic trying to do both the renovation and getting all the olives done. And we've not filmed everything. I can't really remember what we filmed and what we haven't. But although we didn't get as far as we wanted to with the renovation, wanting to get the tiles done, that'll have to roll into next week. But one positive is that we managed to get all the olives picked, so that is a result. Can't wait for the oil.
Nom nom nom.